Good morning. Thank you for the time given to us. Let me introduce myself. My name is Wayan, and now I'm going to present our article. And here I'm with Pande Agus Adiwijaya and also my friend Putu Suardana. We are from the STKIP Suar. In this occasion, we would like to present our article entitled The Effect of Literacy Pattern and Mother Tongue upon the Language Learning Ability on Learning from Home program. Our presentations is dedicated or presented in the 4th International Conference on Language, Literature, Culture, and Educations. Let's start. This studies actually was aimed to understand how is actually the literacy patterns and also the mother tongue influence the language ability of students, especially in learning the Indonesian language as their second language. Why the literacy patterns and also mother tongue is important? Because the literacy actually now is encouraged by the government of Indonesia, and it's also conducted in the GLS, the Gerakan Literasi Sekolah, or the school literacy movement, and it is conducted or is done by all of the schools in Indonesia. And now we face the COVID-19 pandemic, and it takes problems or give a problem for the teacher, for the students, also for parents, how we conduct this literacy programs actually. And how it's actually this literacy also influence the students' language ability in Indonesian language. And how is actually the second one is the mother tongue, how the mother tongue influence the language ability, because we know that most of the students, especially in Bali, are having the Balinese as their first language, and actually how it will impact or affect the students' language ability in mastering the Indonesians. Okay, from one variable, that's literacy patterns. Literacy actually is the ability to access, understand, and use something smoothly through activities such as reading, observing, listening, writing, and or speaking. So this is not only about the reading itself. And the second one, the literacy activities in schools, especially in GLS and junior high school, more specifically, consists of 3 steps. This first is the education step, second development step, and the third is the learning step. This is according to Ningtyah Pratiwi in 2016. In this study, actually, in our study, we only studies on the education step only. And then the literacy patterns consist of 5 actually. The first is the basic literacy, second library, third media or digital, the fourth is visual, and the fifth is technology. We were observing how which pattern was used by the parents in accompanying their children or students in studying the literacy at their home. And about the mother tongue, mother tongue is the first language that is learned before the language other languages. That's according to IDA 2017. As I said before, the most of the Balinese use Balinese as the first language, but some students also use the Indonesians as their first language. And then how this Balinese influence the mastery of the Indonesians, and according to Suhardi, he says that this mother tongue will cause the obstacles or imperfections of mastering the other languages, especially the Indonesian language. That's according to Suhardi. And then we move to language ability. The ability of language or language ability, it can be categorized two according to Miyati, that is the receptive and productive aspect. And in this study, the language ability includes 4: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And we tested all of these 4 language ability in order to measure or evaluate the students' language ability, especially actually in Indonesian language. This research method was conducted by using the mixed method with sequential strategy. This mixed method means that we use the qualitative and also the quantitative method with the sequential strategy, which means that we started with the finding the qualitative data, and then we move the second one is to quantitative data in order to have the more comprehensive conclusion in our study. In the qualitative data, we took the literacy patterns and the mother tongue, we described it, and we collected this data through the interview and observations. And the second one is the quantitative data. We collected this one in order to know the effect of literacy pattern and mother tongue upon the students' language ability. That's the ability of the Indonesians. Okay, and then we collected this data through the test. And then the subject of the of the study were the parents and students of the 7th class, yeah, in junior high school in the eastern of Bali. In the eastern of Bali, is consisting of the Bangli, Kelungkung, Karangasem, and also Gianyar regencies. So they have 4 regencies. And then the object was the literacy patterns of the students and the parents, and also the mother tongue of the students, as well as the language ability and learning conditions. And then in the sampling, we used the area sampling, in which we took 10 parents and 10 students in 3 schools in each of these 4 agencies. And then in the data analysis, in the qualitative data, we follow 3 steps that we do the data reduction, data display, and the concluding. And then in quantitative data, we use the hypothetical test by using the regression analysis. And then here is the finding. We found 2 findings. We divided this into first qualitative finding, second one is quantitative finding. In the qualitative finding, we found 4 points. The first one is that literacy pattern used by the parents were reading and digital literacy pattern. So there were 2 literacy patterns used by the parents. The first one reading, and second one is the digital literacy. In reading, the activity was conducted similar with the GLS, or the school literacy movement, as guided by the schools how to conduct this one. So the parents were asked to accompany their students in the online learning, because now in this pandemic COVID-19, the students were learning from home, so they are assisted or accompanied by their parents in the teaching learning process. There were 15 minutes of reading activity before they start to the lessons, and they were reading some book or non-material book, which means that not the material that are going to study, but the other book can be novel, can be comic, and other books like magazine and so on, which is interested for the students. So it based on the students' interest and also students' needs. And then in the digital literacy, it was conducted by supervising the students when browsing the internet, and it was conducted by parents. And because the parents thought that they worried if the children browse the internet by themselves. And then the fourth is the students' mother tongue were Balinese Indonesian. So although there were two mother tongues, but most of the students acquired the Balinese as their first language or their mother tongue, and only few of them acquired the Indonesian as their mother tongue. And then from the quantitative findings, we found that in the literacy patterns, the significant points were 0.002 and the mother tongue 0.180. So we can see here that the literacy pattern has the significant effect on the students' language ability, while the mother tongue didn't have any significant effect on the students' language ability, especially in mastering the Indonesians. Then the use of non-material books actually, like what have done by the parents, was it's actually in line with Ratnanindya and Padwi in 2016. I would say that in the school literacy movement, the sources is not using the main material of the material book, but it use other book or other sources, just like novels, an anthology of short story, popular science book, the magazines and comics. And from the what's that? From the interview, we found that the parents also use the novels and use short story, magazines, and the comic. So the parents give the freedom for the students or for the children to choose what the sources of their reading activity. And then the reasons of parents in using digital literacy was in line also with the Korea et al. 2019 and Leung and Lee also. They worry about the uh, unreadiness of the students to browse the internet. And it's also said by Korea, said that the students who are just teenager and who have no technical and emotional skill to meet people to get information from the internet. And this is also as the reasons why the parents worry. The parents worry that the students will get negative informations, or they would meet the criminals or negative people or person from the internet if they are not accompanied by the by the parents. Okay, so that's why the parents accompany their children when browsing the internet. So they are going to find what information they didn't know by the students, and then the parents will find the information in the internet with their children as well. And then the finding that the most of the students acquire Balinese as their mother tongue is in line with the Suar and Suardana. It was interesting that actually the mother tongue acquisition was affected by social status. According to Suar and Suardana, just like in social classes like businessmen or research guides. Based on the interview in our study, we found also that the students who acquire the Balinese would tend to be from the middle to the lower uh, uh, economic background of the family, and the family thought that the Indonesian is only for the rich people from the middle to the upper economic backgrounds, and it's supported also the Suargita and Sudarsan point of view or finding. And the Indonesians, the students who got the Indonesian as their mother tongue, actually from the middle class of economy to the higher one. And then next to Ariani 2020 found that the GLS, the school literacy movement, affect the language ability in writing competency of class 7B in SMP and 1 Pacitan, and it is in line also the same actually with our study, which means that literacy support or affect the students' language ability. And actually, our finding disapprove the finding of the Anggayana and Sari research, which was conducted in 2018, because we found that there was no effect of mother tongue on the language ability, while the study of Anggayana and Sari stated that there was, and we thought that uh, why there is no effect of the mother tongue, maybe because the students are not uh, not having too much problems in having in studying Indonesian, because they also have the condition environment of the using bahasa Indonesia on Indonesian, because in their school using the Indonesians, and while at home they still use the Bali. So maybe that's why making this one there is no effect of the Balinese into their Indonesian mastery. Yeah, however, it needs further research to 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 see this more comprehensively. And then we goes to the conclusion. We have the 3 points of conclusion. The first one, the literacy pattern of the parents during the learning from home, or the reading literacy pattern, and also the digital literacy pattern. And the second one, mother tongue of the students of 7th grade students of junior high school were balanced in Indonesia, and especially it was conducted in the easterns of Bali only. And third was there is no significant effect. I'm sorry, there was significant effect between literacy patterns and language learning, while the mother tongue had no significant effect on the students' learning ability. And based on these conclusions, we suggested that the parents in the literacy pattern, the parents still should do these literacy patterns in accompanying student in the learning from home, because we know that in this semester also the policy of learning from home is still in effect. So in order to support our children, so the role of parents is very important in accompanying them to study at home. And the last one, this is our references. And the last, we would like to say thank you for the opportunity that we could have participations in this conference. And thank you very much.